Hey, you guys, welcome back to another Dear Diary episode. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a new method that I've been using to hold myself accountable for getting all the types of rest that I need and also rebuilding my life, starting over from such a crazy bankruptcy and transition in my life after coming off a 1 year gap year in my life, recovering from burnout. So, how am I integrating back into the world? How am I starting over without doing too much? How do I know where to start? I've been using a bingo card, and I know that some people have been using a bingo card for the year and just putting things on it that they want to knock out throughout the year. But I'm going through bankruptcy. I live life right now on a month to month basis. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I feel like this loosens the reins for me. And so I've been using the bingo card because each row I do 20 squares. Okay. So 5 rows of four, 4 rows of five, whichever way you want to swing it. Okay. I needed things to be more flexible. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Weight Watchers, but I did Weight Watchers one time and I didn't stay on it for very long. But once you get the concept, you can quit it. But I get why it works. Weight Watchers works because it works with points. It's not good or bad or anything like that. It's just fruits and vegetables are 0 points. You get no points for eating. It doesn't count against you. So say you get 10 points in a day to eat or whatever, based off how much weight you want to lose. You can eat as much fruits and vegetables as you want and get no points, which in turns makes you want to eat more fruits and vegetables. And eventually that habit is built in, right? If you're eating more fruits and vegetables, you're eating less of other things, right? And so you might get a bag of chips and you're allowed to have the bag of chips, but it might take 7 points. And you might say it's worth it if I get to have a salad. It naturally teaches you how to exchange things. Rob Peter to pay Paul is what our parents used to call it when they was balancing the checkbook, right? But I'm saying that you only have so much capacity, and so if you can really be aware of that capacity, you can pick and choose what you put things in. But the goal is to not go over, not to burn out, not to stay consistent, and to figure out how much of what you need is what the fuck you need. What's the recipe for you, right? So the bingo card is a great tool because it gets better every month. The better you get to know yourself, the better it gets every month. Okay. So the first month that I did it, I learned a lot. Okay. So on this bingo card, I put a mix of things. Like I said, it's 20 boxes. So I put various forms of rest. You might be like, what does that mean? Does that mean like sleeping more? No. There's so many different types of rest. I suggest you look them up. So one is like intellectual rest. This might be journaling, right? Creative rest. For me, it might be pottery. I don't have to think. I just have to use my body. Physical rest, maybe doing yoga instead of a hard workout, right? Like there are different types of rest that you put on there, right? I also put my mom child stuff. So for example, I signed me and Trey up for all the free library apps so that way he can stream and get ebooks on his tablet. And also we're taking free Portuguese classes through the library. Like, so I put that on my bingo card to do. I also put on there to research him a bike, right? I ended up getting a $35 bike from freaking Salvation Army, right? Like things that I had been putting off or that I knew I needed to start the process on, I'll put it on there. I also put my van life content on there. I put my content period because I am a creative multi-hyphenate. So everything can get the same amount of energy from me. So I put something on there that I want to do for each of those things. I put writing on there and things that I put off or admin, things that might take a little bit of time, a little bit of research, things like that, right? And what I've learned is a couple of things. One, everything only counts as once. Okay. So if you put workout and you already work out, don't put that on there because you can't put that on there 5 times. Okay. Everything you put on there only count as once. So for me, I said, oh, I'm going to take an astrology class. Y'all know I'm in astrology school. I said, I'm gonna do astrology 5 times a week. I can't put that on the board. I could say take an extra astrology class or focus on Jupiter or something like that. But if you put something 5x, you can't do that. It's kind of like having cash and having a debit card. When you sometimes have your debit card, sometimes you're a little delusional about how much money you think you got. Because why is it that when you hand somebody cash, they spend less? Because they're aware of what they have right then. If you start condensing the items on the board and saying, oh, I'm going to do this 2 times, you feel like you have more time and energy available because you wrote it in one box, but it's actually taken up 2, which is how a lot of us end up getting burning out and cashing checks with our mouth that we can't cash. Did I say that wrong? Writing checks with our mouth that our ass can't cash. I think that's how it's go. So everything count as one. So if it's something you're trying to do every day, this ain't about you getting your routine right. That's not what this is for. That's not what the bingo card is for. It's not about that. You know what your routine supposed to be. You writing it down on these boxes not going to change that. So don't put that on there. Okay? If you're putting on there take new bikini pictures, that could go on there. Why? Because you might know that if you stick to your 3-day juice fast and do the Izzy Pilates videos, that you will look how you want to look, and you might do that, right? You see what I'm saying? Don't put the list. Put the thing you want to do. Put the thing you want to do. Don't put the work on there. Put the thing you want to do, okay? Next, it can't be too much of one thing. So the content thing, I can't put 5 videos out for that. I put one for each area of what I'm making content on. That's it. You can't put too much in there. I can't put too much rest on there. I can't do too many solo things, not too many trade things. Sometimes less is more. Last month, the 2 things that I did with Trey that were very, very impactful were downloading all those apps and teaching him how to use them, because now he had more resources at his fingertips. He liked that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a van. He's not allowed to have a whole bunch of stuff in here. And then also he got that bike. I just put on there having to research because I knew that he needed a bike, but also I'm on a budget. So I thought that it was going to take more research. The research landed me a bike that day. And he ended up getting a bike and a motorcycle helmet for $45 in total. He got the bike for $35, and it ended up being brand new from the Salvation Army. I said pick a helmet. I clearly didn't specify bike helmet, and he picked the motorcycle helmet. That was very impactful for him. He rode that bike multiple days. It's not about me showing up and doing cartwheels as a mom every fucking day. It's about me becoming a person that can sustain and it be impactful when I do it. He's been wanting a bike. He didn't even know I was looking for him a bike. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes less is more when it's more impactful and it's real. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be too much of one thing. That's why I have so many categories of what I'm trying to put on there. Okay? So my categories are based off the life I'm trying to build. I'm studying astrology. I want to do my van life content. I want to do my other content. Van life is a big one right now because that's something I'm being real consistent about and building actively. My writing, that's a huge topic for me right now. And then things I put off in admin. That's pretty much it. Various forms of rest. So I might not put every form of rest on there for the week, but I might pick 2 or 3 in a month. Go camping, sound bowl, go to the beach. You have to be realistic with your time. A lot of us think that we have more time than what we have, and a lot of us are not realistic about how much we're able to help others when you realize how many of areas in your life that you're not even doing stuff for yourself. If you actually properly take care of yourself, you do not have that much time for other people, which brings me to another lesson that I learned with the bingo card. It helps me figure out the proper times. On the first month, I put that I was going to donate 2 astrology hours per week. When I first started the bingo card, so I had wrote astrology. That means I was going to donate a free reading to 2 people. I'm a student right now, which means that readings with me are free or donation based. That's it, because I'm learning, right? But you have to get the practice in. And so I took 2 astrology hours as 2 free clients a week. I did that in February, and I already found out just before ending February's bingo card, I will not do that for March. 1 client per week. Why? Because I am a student, and of course it takes me 1 hour to study that particular person and then do the 1 hour free reading, right? That's 2 hours for a person, which means I'm already dedicating 4 hours to astrology, donating 4 hours. When you really realize how much other stuff I got to do, and also the freedom that I balance through alternative living, and also knowing that every week is not the same, that I have my son some weeks and some without, that's too much. Donating 4 hours on a fixed thing? No, that's too many to donate. I can donate 2 hours a week because that's the thing, y'all. When they talk about tithing, it's not just your money. It's really donating your resources, donating your time back. I use astrology because it helps me. It helps me. And I found that I don't have to build, $1 million content houses to help other people. Just me studying astrology and teaching people how I used it helps me fulfill something in me. That don't mean I got to go overboard. 2 hours a week is what I donate. 1 hour so I could study extra stuff that's particular to this person, take my notes, 1 hour to give it to them. It lets me do my work. I don't know if I'm going to become a professional astrologer, but it's respecting the craft and lets me learn without me overdoing it, because that's not the only thing on my plate no more. That's not the only thing that's on my pizza no more. It's different stuff. Each slice of pizza in my box is different. And I'm okay with that. I'm learning how to do that. And bingo carding is allowing me to do that, okay? Odds are if you don't have enough time, then you probably don't have enough time. So some people need smaller bingo cards. Maybe you don't need 20 things. Maybe you only need 15. Remember, everything is customizable. When you take in what someone else is saying and it inspires you and encourages you, you use it as a base, and then you cook it up. It's just like when you buy spaghetti sauce. You use it as a base, but by the time when you done, that spaghetti sauce totally different. You added barbecue sauce, a little brown sugar. You know what I'm saying? A little bell pepper, a little onion. You didn't cook that sauce up. It damn sure ain't what was in that bottle when you first bought it. You know what I'm saying? So remember that, okay? Let me see. I think that might be it. It allowed me to be balanced. I hold myself accountable to not fall into old habits of overcommitting, and it checks me. If I can't figure out something on that board, it's because I over dedicated myself to somewhere else. And you should say yes to other things, but if I can't do what I dedicated myself to, then I can't say no to those things. So each month I'm being better and better. And the day I'm recording this is the last week of February, and I've already made March's bingo card, and February's is almost done. So I'm getting it there. By the time and also I don't actually play bingo. Like, I don't actually try to get 5 in a row. I'm just trying to do scratch and a scratch off. I'm trying to scratch off everything on the board. And some things you work on end up altering. And so the bingo card is just helping me to see myself and understand why I either can or can't make something happen, which is one of the reasons why it's very important for you to don't put the reps on the card. The reps is the work. Don't put workout 5 times a week. Put the reward on there. And this will allow you to show up for yourself. If you feel differently as a woman, I don't have the same week every week. Some weeks I have my son, so I'm mom, and that becomes the biggest thing, right? And sometimes I'm on my cycle. My hormones feel different. My energy feel different. Sometimes things come up. This allows me not to say, oh, I'm going to do this on the 20th, because what if the 20th come and that's not how I feel? This allows me to honor myself. Like I said, it loosens the reins. So if you're just looking for an idea, something, how to try to find ways to balance, commit to more things, figure out what your measurements are, then I hope that this helps you. Hey, you guys. My name is Samaya. As you guys know, I live in my van, Charlie. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about internet. So I have been doing van life for about 4 years, and I have had internet the entire time. I had the Verizon mobile internet situation. I had, what is that little orange hockey puck? Like one of those little traveling, they make it real small and enticing and say, oh, you can take this on the go, but it would never connect anywhere. And recently I have been testing out new internet, and for over 3 months, I have been satisfied. And so now it is time for me to tell you guys about it. I have gotten Connect 10 internet, and I really love it, okay? The fact that it's just consistent. First off, I do have a host home, so I am pretty stationary for long periods of time or consistently in the same spot. But I still camp and get out on the road. I've been to Tennessee, I've been to Georgia, I've been in the woods, I've been on the coast, okay? And my internet has worked fine. I've been able to download, I've been able to upload, I've been able to edit, and everything all from my flexible Wi-Fi, okay? Now, I do want to let you guys know this is not just for those that live in tiny homes or RVs or in rural areas. You can also use this in your house. If you are one of the people that have messaged me about looking to downsize or just create a more flexible lifestyle, which is what I try to tell you guys about, which is alternative living, understanding you do not have to pick a company that requires a contract and being able to make changes as your budget changes and things like that. That's what makes me feel good right now. And Connect 10 allows me to do that. If you decide to cut off their service, you simply mail the equipment back and there you go. So I really like it. I want you guys to use code Charlie35 if you decide to check it out. All right, back to the video. So please make sure that you leave a comment if this helps. I really loved reading them, and please make sure you check out my audio feed and leave a review there. That really helps me. Even if you listen here, it would be great. So I love you guys, and I'll see you on Sunday for our weekly meetup at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. All right, love you. Bye.